We do want to get to this. We are learning more about the deadly police shooting of Rayshard Brooks over the weekend. So a Wendy's employee called 911 worried that Rayshard had too much to drink because he was asleep in his car, but she didn't think he was a threat at all. Let's take a listen.
I think he's intoxicated. He's in the middle of my drive-thru. I tried to wake him up, but he's parked dead in the middle of the drive-thru, so I don't know what's wrong with him.
Is he black? Is he black? Why is he crazy?
Yeah. He black?
Does he appear to have any weapons from where you can see him?
No, I think he's intoxicated.
So protesters burned that Wendy's to the ground. Rayshard's cousin told TMZ their family does not condone violence, but seeing the Wendy's burn was, quote, cathartic. All of this leading to big moves coming out of the White House. I have people in my ear telling me as we speak if Trump is about to sign, and when he will, a police reform executive order today. We will keep you updated. So this order will create a database to track police misconduct. It also encourages officers to call mental health professionals to the scene and offers federal grants to departments that curtail the use of force. So DBL Nation, we need to know, do you support this executive order, or do you believe that giving more money to the police is not the answer? Go to dblvote.com to weigh in. I have no idea what the vote's going to be. What do you think about this, Erica?
Well, for starters, I just want to throw this out there that there were protesters who were at the Wendy's telling a woman who didn't appear to be a part of the protest.
Correct.
And was not black.
Correct.
Not to burn the Wendy's down. This was an establishment that not only provided jobs in the community, but also a place to eat in the community. The other thing is, when we're talking about police reform was very much something that was on the top of the list during the Obama administration. We talked about this earlier, maybe like a few weeks ago, that the president of the police union in Minneapolis was on record at a rally saying thank you for unshackling us as a police force, the shackles and oppression that was put on by the Obama administration. So clearly we know that there are some protocols that need to be put in place. The question is, what are those protocols? And we're seeing things on both sides being addressed right now.
Do you think, and speaking of that, Lindsay, do you think these protocols go far enough? For instance, had someone like a social worker or a mental health worker just approached Rayshard and said, hey, can we get you somewhere to sleep? Do you need a ride home? That would have avoided costing us a beautiful life. So tell me what you think about this executive order. Does it go far enough?
I think it's a first step. I think it's a good first step, but we also have to remember that this executive order is the same thing as the NYPD having an official ban on chokeholds when Daniel Pantaleo killed Eric Garner.
Very true.
You know, that was illegal, and they still did it, and they still killed him. So what we need is a complete overhaul and complete reform. When you think about it, states like North Carolina and California, just two examples of many states, you actually have to have more training to be a barber than to be a police officer in those states. So we need to really understand why it would take 600 hours to be an officer, but more than 1,500 to be a barber. You know, you have to think about why we need to completely redo and restructure what we're doing and take the power out of people's hands that are abusing it and make sure they understand exactly that you're there to serve and protect.
Interesting point. I just have to say, again, we are very clear about this. Defunding the police literally means reallocating money to other budgets. It's like education, public health, housing, and youth services. So if there's a call for a homeless person, you don't send the cops, you send a social worker, and maybe they can get them housing that night. That is what defund the police is. If you didn't know, we spend $115 billion on the police budget in this United States. That is more than almost every other country's military budget. The viewer vote, just wanted to put that in perspective. We're not talking dismantling, we're just talking reallocation of the funds. So 75% of you say no, this executive order does not go far enough. 25% of you do. I need you to write in and let you know. Let me know what you guys think. A lot of you writing in right now, and we'll get to your comments.